Check, check, 1 2 1 2. For the people that's going to watch this on the playback, you're rocking with your host, Deshaun, one half of this platform, Enveonline. And I have the honor today to speak with the legendary hip hop duo who's been within hip hop for over 30 years. They really don't need no introduction, but hailing from Bucktown, USA, the iconic Smif-N-Wessun.
Salute, salute, salute. See, salute.
Before I get into any questions, I always like to, say to both of you guys, to General Steele and Tech, man, how you brothers doing?
Blessed, man. Feeling blessed and highly favored.
Amazing. Yes, sir. Alhamdulillah.
So,
Yourself?
oh man, I'm doing good, man. As long as I'm in good health, I got my wife and my kids. I got no complaints, man. That's the most important thing to me.
Yeah, good. Thanks. Hear that.
So on this platform, I do my best to curate what's going on in underground hip hop. And one thing that I've noticed within this last year is kind of feeling like a somewhat of a renaissance going on. And in that renaissance, I'm gonna give some bullet points, some examples to lay some context. When hip hop was in a golden era, it seemed like the younger cats were carrying the torch. But in this new renaissance, all the dope rappers that are carrying the torch right now are over the age of 30. So basically, our upperclassmen is really leading the way in this renaissance.
Indeed.
Second bullet point, the record labels told us the physical sales was done and we were all streaming. And as we seeing right now, physical sales are back. So we're seeing things that's never been done before in this 2020 era. So I want to ask you guys that, you guys are prospering in this culture. You guys have been through the ups and downs, through the 90s all the way up to now. How are you guys feeling right now, living through this kind of new renaissance in hip hop?
Man, like you said, right now we're experiencing nothing new under the sun. Nothing under the sun is new. So we're just here experiencing it in our lifetime while we're actually part of the business that's taking place with it. So, because when we first came out, of course, it was CDs, it was LPs, and it was physical copies that was moving, and it was no online presence. So now, 30 years in, what the tables do, they spin, and it's back to physical LPs along with the CD, along with the online presence of something that wasn't even heard of or that was contractual back when we first started getting it rocking. So to be here live and direct and experiencing it is a beautiful part of it also.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting, man. I feel blessed to be a part of it, like to witness it and be a part of it. Because music is resilient. Like who can put a time stamp on any music? Like we're still digging and finding stuff. So it's like to be a part of it though, to actually have something, the substance to be able to usher it in along with these other iconic individuals, artists on many different levels is exciting, man. But it's also humbling too. It's like, all right, so what do we do with this energy right here? Because it's still we never get too excited about our wins, and the way we was raised, we always have that mindset to be like, all right, what's the next move that we got to do? So that's where we at, and just staying grounded.
I feel you on that, but as a fan of hip hop, I guess I'm gonna have to be excited for y'all, man, because y'all put out a great body of work. And just as a fan of hip hop, man, so this next part, I got to give you guys your flowers and say congratulations. Congratulations are in order for a number of reasons for you guys. You released an amazing album that I've been lucky to get from Duckdown. If you ain't got it, you need to go to Duckdown and pretty much purchase the bundle. Need all of it. Need the CD. Y'all need the vinyl. Y'all got to get that, man.
Yeah.
So you released an amazing album, and on top of that, The Shining, the original, crossed 30 years within legacy not too long ago.
Yeah.
And more importantly, outside of hip hop, outside of music, you guys have a unique brotherhood that stood the test of time, which I think is very good. You guys are alive and healthy outside of music, and you pretty much have your relationships, your prospective relationships So I want to ask you guys, as you're living through this moment currently, how does it feel, man?
It feels it's heavy. It's like heavy in a good way, you know. It's like you came from the pit where like heavy could be stressful and it could take you out the game.
Mm.
You know? It's like these tests at this point for us, like as we travel with our commission, with our better halves, and we feel more balance. It's tough still, you know, because we was always independent artists. You know, we was always hands on. We was always in the mix. So it just gives it like, you know, again having some like good product and people like it. And it's not, you know, you don't have to like embellish and stick your chest out like this is 30 years for real. Like we're still here, we still care, we still love it enough to come and bring you a healthy presentation as opposed to just being some grumpy guys going, yo man, respect the work, bop, bop, and all that. Like nobody got time for that. We still having fun with it. We still watch our brothers come out and you know, we just was rocking with Busta Rhymes. He just dropped a project. You know, Redman got to join out. Pete Rock got to join with Common. Like, that's exciting to see, man. It's like, yo, Master Ace hit me. It was like, yo, that Medina that go hard. I'm like, yo, man. So it's like, and it gives like, you know, even when we was at the Monarch performing for our 30th year anniversary, like looking into the sea of people and seeing people feel safe enough to come to a Smif-N-Wessun show, all ages, because you have that age variation where it's like the elders don't want to come be around the wild shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you like we
You ain't lying with that, man. Not to cut you off. I'm almost 40 and I'm starting to get up there. I'm like, man, if it ain't a 30 and up crowd, I don't know, man.
But we all enjoy good music. You know, we all enjoy a space where we can bust a move or two or, you know, do a little boogie or whatever. And we enjoy that. We don't want to feel like we got to watch our backs. We don't want to feel like we got to impress the world. Like when you come to Smif-N-Wessun party, it's man, woman, and child. You know what I mean? People was partying like it's people our age is partying with their kids. Their kids is right now and they from like 15 and they in their 20s and some are even younger than that. And they get to see how we party. Like we remember we was influenced by our elders, our aunties and uncles. We watched them partying and playing that music. It wasn't rap. It was like, you wanna get up and party.
It was still a vibe.
It was a vibe. We was watching them vibe and we was like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? So like we knew we wasn't gonna do that. So when we got hip hop as our own thing, it's like, wow, okay, so how do we treat it now? It's like it's the burden heavy is the head, man, you know, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful responsibility to have when you know you're doing something that affects so many people in a beautiful way, a righteous way.
And just to add on, it's exciting. Get thanks. It's exciting to see, like what he said, you look out into the crowd and you see your peoples that you went to high school with, and you see now, of course, they're in the same age gap. So now you see them with a younger one that's looking just like them, and their eyes are locked onto you, like, oh wow, okay, this is you know, my dad or my uncle or my mom used to always tell me, and just to see it, to be into it on their own is something that's truly a blessing. That's where you can say timeless music that stands the test of time. Everybody is into the vibe, having a good time, enjoying it. It's not a bunch of mean mugging and hoodies on it. Even how we came up that way, just to perform and give that energy out there, and the energy is reciprocated in a beautiful way and given back. That's the icing on the cake.
Yeah, we changed the game, man. We added on, like we made it cool to be a youngin', and we made it cool to be an elder. Like elders, when we came up, elders was like they was kind of like tucking the information. It was not, and I ain't gonna say they was doing it purposely. I'm saying they probably was just still figuring things out themselves. And they contract, a lot of their contracts wasn't even right enough to even give us no gems really like that. So we had to figure it out. Everybody was getting bust upside their head. And so we grew up together through that whole portal, man. And we cleaned up a lot. So when you see youngins now, they can just drop they project if they got a great
The
following.
independence movement is big.
We made it possible. The pioneers before us made it possible for us to kick in the door, and we just kept it going and streamlined until we get up to this part. Now we talking about ownership. Now we can sit on this throne and go, all right, 30 years. We talking about ownership. We talking about all of this is our 8th album, you know, and we've been independent. We've been with Duckdown, you know, from the inception, and it's like keeping it home. So to pass something on, so it's not just an old folks, a young man's game. It's a game of legacy.
Definitely. So I want to follow up with this. I watched this interview you guys did with Sway, and you guys talked about the important value that women within your life played in your career and how they make it possible. So for the people that don't know, March is an important month. It's actually Women's History Month. So I want to give respect to the women around the world and give you guys respect to uplift the women. Can you guys both share how the women play an important part in your personal life, whether it's career or whether it's at home or just in general? And you guys can each talk about that.
I mean, well, we come from households where the woman was the matriarch as well as the father was the patriarch of the household. And when one slacked, the other one picked up the reins and made it work for us. Like, it's crazy. Both of our mother's name is Barbara.
Okay.
So my mom's was a minister in the church. So those values and morals and principles was installed early, coming from a larger family. Plus, my dad, he would play instruments, moving around and everything. So she had to be tough-skinned, and she had to really want to be in that atmosphere that she was in. So when you grow up like that, you know, you learn early how to treat a woman. You learn how to talk to a woman. You learn you hands off of a woman is no, and you apply those things as you grow up and you get girlfriends and whatever the case may be. And just to be able to be on that journey with your life partner, which I like to call my life partner, to be on that journey with her is like you're teaching each other something coming from a whole different field. Her field is nursing, my field is music, is entertainment. So she's teaching me how about being healthy, or about recognizing signs where it is anything might be going wrong with your health, or just so to speak. And from my side, teaching her more about the entertainment business, or about how to put a show together or handle things. You know, just to be able to move around with that, because that person that you treat like that's supposed to be your best friend. You want to be trusted with that person. You want to be upfront, and to be able to do business with a person like that is a gorgeous thing. It's immaculate.
Yeah, I'd say definitely enough respect due to my whole earth. Both of our moms was in our lives. Like we used to leave for tour. His mom used to stand by the gate like this. You know what I mean? Just to see us off. See us in the car, we get in there, pack our bags, and like, all right, love you, mom. Like his mom, my mom, his mom. And it took me like, although I knew this, it took me later to realize how important it was that my mom's used to write poetry. And like she never pursued it because life took a turn or whatever. But you know, I was a mama's boy. But this is what's that?
I was gonna say, on top of that, when you deal with the sciences and the maths, that's the wisdom that's by your side that come after the knowledge, your wisdom. So together you have understanding to bring forth the culture, which is hip hop and everything else that you deal with in your life circle, in your immediate life circle. Because music, these things happen like maybe 3-4 hours out of a day. This isn't just, we have personal lives and other things that take place. So to be able to have someone to talk to where it's not just all hood and street, someone you can build with and grow with is something on another level. You can vibe higher from it.
Yeah, I think it's important that we definitely uplift the females because they uplift us. And
they make the babies.
They definitely reflect the light, and they keep us like our wisdom. Salute to salute the cynical Smith. That's like she's the boss lady. You know what I mean? Diana Boss. You know, it's like, and Alana Queens get the money. Like, you know, she's like, and they're like a drill sergeant. You know what I mean? It's like their seriousness and passion will keep you on point.
And they're both beautiful. So you like, oh man, you got the best of both worlds.
And it's not even about like, you know, it just reminds you that people care, right? Because sometimes you can get wrapped up in just doing rapping, right? You're like, all right, I'll do the rap, I'll go ahead, boom, boom. And then you know, you got the social media where it's like a rapid response thing or a call and attention thing, and it kind of take you away from the purest things. I used to think about just building with somebody that can see what you see, and it's not just talking to rappers. Like I personally don't be talking to rappers. I like that. I'd be like, yo, chill with all of that. It's overkill for me.
Okay.
Like, I want rap talk. If we can't have a regular build, then like personally, like I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? And these are, you can see the record, like our track record, this is the governor, like he deals with guys, but you can see the people who we deal with, it's consistent. You know what I'm saying? It's like a consistent type of individual. And we have an open door policy, but we also don't tolerate certain things. And when it comes to our wisdom, they clean up nice. And they make sure we cleaned up nice. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we forget that energy, like PNC said, it does bring us to the understanding. And we so trapped in that rap that we forget to go, yo, salute to all the wisdoms out there. You know what I'm saying? Salute to our wisdom. Salute to all the queens that hold it up for themselves and for us as a community. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So, yeah, it's only right, man. We can't go nowhere without that, man. It's like this is the yin and yang, man. You know.
That's definitely facts, man. And salute to all the women globally. Salute to my mother and my wife. Definitely, man. So I want to get into this album, man. Like I said, if y'all ain't got the album, please go get it. Infinity, produced by Knife Wonder and the Soul Council. Heavily produced. Great production. So I'm going to lay the context for this. And what's ironic is the context of this question is going to come from the previous album, because that album was also produced by Knife Wonder and the Soul Council. So this is the context I'm going to lay down. You got a bar in there, I believe it's Tech, where you say, they say, take me back to the shining. Nah, but they don't know what shape that my mind's in. The game is different and my mind, the game is different and my man's is going, rest in peace. So for that context, what's one life lesson that both of you went through preparing to make this album?
See, what's crazy is our man he's right here in the visual, looking over our shoulders. He's watching over us. And that's just came from the side of the mind of the bar you just quoted to be like that. I just look up and I see Sean Price's face right there. And I think when you go through something like a lot of our brothers and sisters or people of color, we suffer from PTSD sometimes, a lot of the times, without even knowing what it is. And when you go through that, sometimes you don't have an outlet to get that across to an audience, or just to get it out of your system so you be able to do better as you move and live. But I think when you go through something like that, it just brings you almost to a full circle of clarity in your mind of how serious and precious life and loved ones are. And now when you have a platform such as we do as music to speak about it and get it out, and in less than 24 hours it can be heard around the world, that's something that I think you it's like a gift from the Most High that He gave you, that is your obligation to give that gift back.
Respect.
And I just add on like Sean. Just speaking about Sean in particular, like Sean Price was like he just was the best, right? He was he was almost like he was almost like a therapist, right? Because he can make all of us laugh, all of us. Like it, I mean, no matter how crazy it may have been, he found a way to bring a smile to all of us. And he found a way to propel his rap style. And he used to say one thing, yo, just rap. You know what I mean? Like all that explaining and all that extra shit. Like that's where that 2-piece in the biscuit line come from. That come from him. Yo, give me 2-piece in the biscuit, no coleslaw, no mashed potatoes, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like he say just rap. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's like we tend to overthink. I'm super guilty of that. And it's like, all right, we have this great responsibility, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, but like, we're not the saviors of people. Like, let's be real. Like, we want to communicate with you enough where you can communicate with us. And next thing you know, we're breaking bread. We can have a picnic. We can get money together. We can exchange. We can barter. Like, this is how we grew up in our communities of Brooklyn, and our craft just happened to be rapping. You know, this is where we landed. We did a bunch of other stuff prior to that. So we landed here and it's like, all right, this is where the Most High is like, all right, I'm going to need you to stick around here for a little while so you can do other things. You know what I mean? The music becomes the backdrop that allows us to go through these neighborhoods. It's our how do you say, our ambassador card, man. It's like our
face card.
Yeah, we can, you know, our passport. It allows us to go. If we come with the respect and because we love music, you know what I mean? And people that we love, you know, we went to a Stevie Wonder concert, man. We was in there like, yo, this is great. Like he was around for like generations. Like it was generational flyness going on in there. And then I think before that or after that, before that we was on tour. We went on tour first. We was just on tour for like 30 days, right? Some wild number. And then we came and sat and watched because Stevie was on tour on Heal a Heart tour and all of that. And to see him,
the DNC thing, right?
Yeah, to see him rock like for a second, like out of body experience because you get to see it because we don't get to see none of our performances. You know what I mean? I personally don't really watch the videotape. I already know what my mistakes was, and I'm like, all right, I ain't doing that again. I gotta come with the.
That's a weird thing about creatives because sometimes I don't even watch my interviews back. Like I don't know, it's weird. But go ahead. Sorry to cut you off.
Nah, like I watch other people interviews, and I'm like, all right, I try to be as relaxed as possible on stage and interviews in my work field, and just like play my zone. And not just remember what Sean Price said, yo, just rap, bro. Like, of course I could sit here and go through a whole bunch of biblical. I got thousands of books on the wall, like to break it down to science. But it's like at the end of the day, this is my brother, right? We agreed to do something and see it to the end. And all I can see is his mom's standing at the gate, like, you know, y'all coming back. She know y'all coming back. So we got to go there and make sure we do the right thing. It ain't even that like scientific. It's like I want to make sure we did the right thing and people are happy. All right, so now we can proceed and now possibly we can celebrate because we know it's still a lot of work to do out there too. We want to make the youngest know. Don't stop. We want to make the youngest know that it's cool to talk to the elders. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to talk to the old heads.
Vice versa.
And vice versa. The old heads got to
bridging that gap.
Like we can do that now. We made it cool. I mean, it was cool. It was cool before. We kind of forgot the loop. Like rap took us out the loop for a bit. And there was a lot of other funky things going on behind the scenes with the contracts and everybody was feeling, you know, a certain way about it. But we can definitely talk to each other and have a forum. We can bring back those Jack the Rappers and How Can I Be Down. We can do these conventions and
can learn
and we can build.
I think it was it's different now because we was the youngins back then. So
yeah,
even even when our uncles and our pops was like, man, get that rabbity boobity boobity boop out of here. It was only a certain type of individual that would poly with you, whatever poly with us that we can build with. But now I think as you increase your knowledge for daily, because knowledge is always infinite, you always heard it, but you never knew how important it is until you get to the crossroads of that street or that block or that book that you have to keep building up your mind so you can be able to converse in these different rooms and into these different rooms. You look in one way, but you thinking and you speaking and reacting to another way, and that's what it kind of shakes the algorithm so you can be able to create your own in there, your space.
Yeah, we need to give hip hop. We need to make sure we pay attention to the purpose of hip hop, and the power of the word, the power of rap. Like rap, like we're doing so much things politically. Everybody has a voice. All these talking heads, and everybody is jousting right now to prove a point and prove that their knowledge and wisdom is more stronger than the other one. We could put that in the forum.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We can put that in the forum, sell pamphlets, give out pamphlets. Like, it is no your story, this story. It was too much people going, too much things going on. Like, this has to go on. When you hear Infinity come on, you hear KRS-One. We will be here forever.
Yeah.
Obviously, we respect and love and honor the teacher. We grew up on that. Not only did we grow up on it, we get to do songs with him. Like, for real. We get to, like, it's mind blowing. Still, I still feel youthful. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the 50-50 club. I'm 50 years old, and I still
salute to that. I'm sorry to cut you off, man, but I think as black men, when we see each other getting older, it's a beautiful thing because we all come from community. People got diabetes, or they're dealing with their own personal health, and seeing 50 isn't guaranteed by the creator. So for the people that's blessed to get to your age, man, major salute. Sorry to cut you off, but I had to salute y'all.
Add on, we building right now because this excitement is there. Because I think about like my old man, my pops. This is my pops right here, Smiley. You know what I mean? He died at 50 years old. He ain't look like that though. That's 20. That's a 20. He was 21 when this picture. At 50, he looked like he was an old man to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, we changed the face of 50. We gave new faces to the Bills right now. Like, so, and it's like, that's a bar. You
gotta get that trademark, man. Y'all gotta trademark that.
Yeah, but it's real because we have the capability to talk to the youngest. My dad didn't listen to our version of hip hop, but our version of hip hop came from the shit that he was listening to and he was playing. He inspired that. So salute to all the producers, salute to the beat miners that put us in the pit and had us, listening to all them original tracks and all of that. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I want to talk about to piggyback off of that, or to segue, the production on this. This is the second album you guys got majorly produced by the Ninth Wonder and the Soul Council. And as artists, you guys worked with a lot of people. You worked with Pete Rock. You worked with a lot of great producers.
Will it actually be the third? Because the trilogy we did with that whole thing wasn't produced by Soul Council.
Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't even Soul Council yet.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, so y'all been rocking with them for a while. So for you guys to be rocking with them for a while, what is it about their sound that drew them to you to say, all right, we're gonna put together this project and we want you guys specifically to do it with us?
Well, for one, it's their family, right? And we got the plugs from Sean Price. Sean Price love those guys. You know what I mean? We went down south to record with them. Sean did a joint, and then Buck was working with Knife. Like, these guys build relationships. That's the thing about us. Like, a lot of people we work with, we have relationships with these people. And it's not like getting a track from you and things of that nature. So when it came back time to do the project, we was just at a time we was ready to work. So we just had a list. We was like, all right, who do we want to work with? Who would be good to work with? And we reached out to Knife for the first one. And he was like, he's ready to go. Like, he has this high respect for music. Like, he wants his mind frame, his template is The Shining.
The Jedi.
Right? He's like, all right, we're gonna do The Shining Part 2. We like, nah, we ain't gonna Shining Part 2, but we know what you mean. So he knows. He's like, all right, you guys rap how you rap, but your sound needs to be here. And
Updated.
it's like, and we just comfortably let him maestro that piece.
Man, a couple of them tracks had me dancing. Felt like summertime, man.
That's a beautiful thing.
It felt like you can play a couple of them joints at a cookout.
Bring the pieces through. Can I get on the Hattie? Tell him to come. Jay?
Who? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you know what's real? One of the dopest joints to dance to is Rakim. It's been a long time. And Chuuch say that's a James Brown, but like that song is so funky, and this is the you know what I mean? This is the like, but this is such a play that anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the bars is still up to par, relevant, and it's like I want to be able to make something that will last, stand the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's not about no hood. It's about people just feeling that vibe
and where you're from is where
and rocking with it. Where you at? You in the gym? You in your rod? You at KFC? You at Bojangles or something? You work there? You at Marshalls? Where you at? Like you pop that on. If we can rock with you, that's glorious, man. And that's we want to be respectfully presenting our appreciation for this music shit. You know what I mean? So.
Tech, you want to add on?
I do, but I lost my train of thought.
Gotcha. Oh no, I just wanted to be respectful, just in case you had some input.
It's mostly what he says.
We was talking about recording with
Knife, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that you know.
Nah, like you said, when we first started working with them, it was something different, you know. And then for us, it was good because we was traveling to where they was at, where their compound was at, which was North Carolina. So now it's like it's a road trip and it's an adventure. And once you get down there, you know, we all on the floor or all in just before the compound even came. Sean Price is just moving around, and the vibe was just so. The energy was electric that, like you said, once you met them, they automatically became family. So to get back for the second and third joint, it was a no brainer. And like you said, Knife just he thinks different. He's a producer. He's not someone that's just gonna give you a beat and be like, yo, you go write your 16 and build a verse or a bar and then we could do it and then I'll mix it down. No, he's giving insight. He's talking about the flows, how he think it should sound, and he's not afraid to speak his mind, and he's not afraid to help you bring the best out in you. It's like a heavyweight champ fight.
Yeah, nah, that's a great point. That's definitely he be maestro in that piece.
So I want to talk about a few tracks on the album. So first, the word eminence, from the definition standpoint, is pretty much a position of superiority. And then the track Black Eminence, both of you rapped about being blessed, healthy, and in a great position of life. What do you guys attribute to you guys being in a state of black eminence?
It's only one thing, brother. That's the Most High. Without him, there is no us. I pray and ask he don't leave our sides, not for the blink of an eye, not for a second. And again, it goes back to family and the way we was raised, I think, you know, and coming from the hoods that we do come from. When you don't have a bunch of things to look up or a bunch of people to look up to and point the finger and be like, I want to do that or I want to be that, you have to set the bar and the goals for yourself. So those who come in behind you, now they have something to look up and measure to. Because, you know, we like I said, coming from families, one brother could go one way and one could go another way. And the little brother and the little nephew is in limbo. Like, where do I go? So you have to sometimes take that stand and be that person at that point, that bar setter.
Yeah. When we go to North Carolina, Knife wanted to pick us up. He referred to us as Big Bro, like out of respect. Like he calls Mr. Ward Evil. They have real conversations about human stuff, and like our responsibility is to convey that, not to blow smoke and tell you got to be the best rapper. Like we said that on the Shining. Not trying to go out like the rest to be the best, just to get roughness on my chest, nothing less, get it on. Right? And you don't gotta have all these existential things either. So it's the responsibility for us is just to show and prove. So like just being able to do this, like we never saw a rapper that was 50 years old. Like we raising this, like we are showing you how far it can go, and the ones that's coming behind us is showing us how strong it can be. So for them, let's continue to have these conversations, because the industry will take you out the game. Well, they say trick you out the streets. Have you thinking that you're using this tool, this word, and this verbiage for something totally different, when it could be a lot of different things, and we got to give them the option. Got to give them the option. That's what hip hop was supposed to do in the first place, right? It was supposed to like give you options, like what the homie said. Like if you hustling to get out the hood, then get out the hood, right? So don't hustle to. You getting and you stay in the hood. Now you hustling backward. You hustling backward. Now you stunting on people because you got jewelry. You like, yo, word. Now you outside with people who still, ribs.
Unfortunate situation for a lot of artists.
Things is dripping. Now you like.
Nah, we like this with the people. Like, nah, we outside for real, and we ain't talking no madness. We showing you the reality. We showing you the vulnerability of being an artist, and hanging out with all of these different people that you call icons. How do we get to be icons? Persistence, consistency, following our love and sticking to our dreams, and like being strong enough to go, yo, son, hold me down, or I might can't get through this verse. And, you know what I mean? Like, yo, finish these bars. I gotta take a nap. Let me take Colin Kaepernick right now. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yo, man, like some dudes be like, yo, I'm the best. I'm the this. Yo, son, no, you not, fam.
That's real.
Yo, you not, fam. You not. Yo, the state of hip hop will show you not, fam. You not. Dudes like, yo, I'm top 3. Like, no, you not, fam. Then they got to it, and somebody got quiet, somebody got loud.
Oh man,
it happens. We've seen it happen in so many different arenas, right? So it's like it's not even that. You ain't gotta be the best to get money here. You ain't gotta be the best to have fans here. You just gotta be persistent and patient and respectful of your craft. Like get it how you live it. That's what they said. That's a real statement right there. Get it how you live it, because nobody can tell you, yo, you got to be like this.
Oh, that's wrong. You can't do that.
You shouldn't do that. What? Everybody did everything already they were supposed to do. And they ate from it, whether it be the most evilest to the most righteous. And us being in the place, it's like, okay, we can sit at a pinnacle and go, all right, we've seen this side, we've seen this side. We can have a fair assessment without being judgmental, and bring it together. We just had a session where we went to the Crossroads, which is a juvenile detention center in Brooklyn, and our whole neighborhood is like cross between Bed-Stuy and Brooklyn. It's like, and we as rappers, man, it's like, again, we're not politicians and activists, but the power to reach people and talk to them and tell them the real deal, man, that's political activism right there. So
that's community work.
Yeah, man.
Can I'm glad you brought that up. So this was going to be a later question, but you just brought something up. So is that the work that you're working with the nonprofit organization Brooklyn Combine?
Yes, that's one of the things that we do.
Gotcha. That's definitely what's up to pay it forward to the next generation.
Absolutely. We do that. We go into schools. We talk to some colleges, some kids, Q&A, and it's just like, we speak their verbiage so they can follow.
That's what's up. So I wanted to jump back where we left off on Black Eminence. The segue to that was you had a Prodigy verse on that. So rest in peace to Prodigy.
Rest in peace.
Did you guys have that verse in the tuck? How did that come about?
Yeah, that verse was something we had. We was doing a tour with Mobb Deep. I forgot which tour it was, but we was doing a Mobb Deep Smif-N-Wessun tour, and as we was working, because they've been with us from day one. You see, they were on the Black Moon album. And then we got the joint with Prodigy and Easy Mo B. And it was just something that we had, but we didn't have the right background to paint those lyrics on. And once Knife came up with that beat, and I think he spoke it up into existence, like, yo, you know who I hearing this? I can hear P. P? Sean? Which P? Sean P? He's like, nah, Prodigy. And we're like, oh, we got a Prodigy verse tucked already. So that's just how the Most High works, and it was God's timing, man. And it fits perfectly. And from what I've been hearing, they for both him and Sean verse, they like, yo, it sound like they right here still with us, man, because they are, which is energy never dies. So that's one of the best compliments and accolades that I think we can receive from that album.
Word.
Another record that I love on that record is Chuuch. Gotta say without the R in it. Featuring Jalissa. I want to pronounce her name correctly. Jalissa. That record spoke to the youth. It spoke to adults. It gave a sense of vulnerability. Believe Tech, you shared your testimony. You shared your testimony on that record.
Yeah.
As a black man, as a brother growing up in our culture where we're taught to be so tough and don't get vulnerable. How did it feel to release on that record and use hip hop as your tool?
It's indescribable, really, because again, we're blessed to have this platform to be able to release those type of emotions and feelings. Like you said, as a black man, you ain't supposed to cry, you ain't supposed to grieve or feel vulnerable. But sometimes things just be overwhelming when life start lifing and you lost is all that you see, or that the things that's happening to you is not joyful things. Then it builds up, and when what you don't want to do, you don't want to release it at the wrong time on the wrong person in front of the wrong spot. So being able to do it over music, the proper music, I think is what adds an edge to it, because now you're listening. The beat is so hypnotizing that it's bringing you into the music to hear what the actual lyrics is or the words is being spoken about. So I think it has to be the perfect brushstrokes as well as the perfect backboard and the perfect backdrop to put it out there with.
Yeah, we had a discussion about rapping and just talking. You know, it's like we can rap, it's stylish, we can be stylish and all of that, but it's like, is there anything you want to say? You know, like just basic. Is there anything you want to say? And yes, definitely the music will definitely be like this to you. It's nighttime. It's raining a little bit. It's dewy outside. You know what I mean? And you just draw the picture if you're listening, if your antennas is up and you catching it, as opposed to overthinking it and trying to rap to the beat. So that's another thing that the production allowed us to do. You know, allowed us to breathe. Being in North Carolina allowed us to breathe. It didn't take us too far into the sticks. It had that city life, you know, but we could go by the railroad and get a little different kind of air while listening to the tracks and just get a little elbow room. So gives you a opportunity to think without dealing with the stress of that New York hustle and bustle. Oh, I gotta run to the store real quick. Yo, my man about to pull up. Ooh, ain't nobody pulling up. Not really, but we had people pulling up there too, of course, but not like New York. It's a different kind of stress. Recorded in New York, you get a New York project. It wouldn't came out the way it came out. You know,
I feel you.
Location played a huge part.
Absolutely.
It gave you freedom and range to create in a better headspace than if you would have stayed home in New York doing it over there. But the one thing it also did, it took me back to remembering and the feeling of recording in the iconic studio D&D that everybody was recording back in the days, where you're liable to see anybody walk through. Aaliyah, rest in peace. And we used to see Mary J walk through. Big is in one room, rest in peace. Nas is in another room, and Primo was going from room to. Well, he had the A and we had the B, but with a pool table that you see all these other different
crossroads,
different energies and everything.
Dudes from Queens.
Oh man,
You just mentioned a bunch of greatness right there, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I wanna title this next segment Grammy Consideration. I'm putting this out in the universe. Because when I listen to it, I believe, in some ways the last couple of years the Grammys has got it right. Salute to Killer Mike. Killer Mike won. Last year, Rhapsody was nominated. Salute to Rhapsody from I learned from her from Ninth Wonder. Pete Rock and Common was nominated. So the last couple of years, I'm like, the Grammys is kind of getting a right with hip hop a little bit. So then when I listen to this record and I'm hearing the melodic tones, I'm like, oh, they got a category for that in the Grammys. Really? Most melodic tone, like.
So we gotta get something in there.
So with the records like Black Eminence, Chuuch, Shine is very underrated. I think that had Ralph I can't pronounce his last name, but yeah. You have a lot of gems on there. So my question to you guys is, are you guys considering, I don't know how the process is with music submission or getting voted in. Are you guys looking forward to that, or is that an expectation?
Well, Larry, what's so crazy about it between us is like us and the commission has just been, this is the road to the Grammys. This is what we've been speaking into in existence. And for you to just say that is shit. Even joking while we was making the album, we was gonna we gonna call this, the name of this album is gonna be Grammy nominated. So it was just like we're putting the energy out there, and like you said, it is a process that is a tedious process from what I heard.
Okay.
Yeah, we speaking it from our mouths to God's ears and the people's ears that's watching it, that's tuning in, clicking in. Let's get it, man.
Yeah, I'm honestly, like, I'm just happy that the people like it, man. You know what I mean? Like, genuinely, like, it's like refreshing. Like, they like the last album, they like the all, but it's a different album. And they can differentiate that. So it's like, okay, you can feel the growth from this one to that one. Then you can go, wow. If you haven't tapped into album number 6 or number 3, you might want to go back and just go through a journey, and then it might be a little different hidden codes and things in there. Even for us to go back sometimes, like, it's like that. So I think just staying in the perspective for us, the balance, like, I'm good that we are able to do that. Now, our wisdoms, on the other hand, is like, yo, we going to the Grammys. We definitely going to go. They picking out outfits already.
Keep speaking into existence, man.
I never really thought about it. I'm like, I never really thought about, we going to go to, I'll be go sit there and be talking about awards and nomination. I'm a kind of like a traditional caveman in that regards. That really doesn't. It does stimulate me if I focus on it. It's like this is exciting, and I like to see certain people. When Rhapsody won, I felt that. I was like, ooh,
like the Grammys got it right.
Ooh, that was hype. It made me hype. You know what I mean? So I could see us. It would be dope. It would be dope.
Mama, we made it
to see what it would be like. Yeah, for Mom Dukes. Woo!
Doing this one for Brooklyn.
Yeah, man.
So I want to title this next segment kind of in a way due to knowledge. So in the golden era of hip hop, you guys were there. I don't need to tell you. One thing that elevated the music was, I'll say, the Nation of Gods and Earths. I'm just gonna come out and be front with it. Anywhere from Rakim to Big Daddy Kane to Nas to Wu-Tang to Poor Righteous Teachers. It elevated everything within hip hop, and I'm starting to see that come back around today. You guys are speaking knowledge in y'all music. There was other artists that I listened to. Dave East just released a project called Final Call. So it's like a lot of wisdom being dropped, and it's elevating the content within hip hop.
Yeah.
So I just want to talk about, if you guys don't want to share, because I know some people are private with their religion, but if you guys can, how does being Muslim play a part in your life as well as hip hop?
Well, it gives you balance and it gives you discipline. The Islam is just surrendering oneself to Allah, to the Most High. So when you surrender yourself, you're dropping your guard. You're being vulnerable. You're opening, allowing yourself to be taught. Like I said, I had to unlearn to relearn things. And when you're dealing with any powers that's greater than you, you learn discipline and you learn balance and you learn how to move. You learn how to speak. You learn when to speak. And I think, like how they try to say hip hop is a young man's game. Is like but as a baby, you don't know what to do. You don't know how to move. You don't know
how to eat.
You don't know how to eat. You don't know how to talk in interviews. So you need people like us when you point your finger at the bad guy, but at the same time, there's balance in the music. And we're telling you, or we're not telling you, we're trying to show you, look, you can do it like this way also. I'm not saying your way is 100% wrong. I'm not saying our way is 100% right. But when you find balance and discipline, you have morals and principles, you can think different ways. You attract, like what's the saying? You attract more bees with honey than you do with salt. So sometimes you just have to ease it in there. They'll catch it. You gotta you see the good in people, they'll catch it.
I think like for me growing up, I was attracted to the gods that was building in the ciphers and the names, you know. I grew up with God's names like Wonderful. You know what I mean?
God Wonderful.
God Wonderful. And these gods was clean. And they had the waves to the side. And it's like, I was fascinated by that. And then, you know, my uncle became 5%. And I was like, yes, now's my chance. Like, it just was fascinating. And that was one of the things that was accessible initially for me, for my journey. And that just opens the door to study other theologies. Like I'm personally still on my personal journey, but I definitely adhere to Islam. Primarily, like I always, you know, I pray and I always acknowledge the original man. So people have, you know, I'm still in the way where people be debating with me how you balance it out, and I think that's the journey for us all. But it plays an important part, and also knowing that it's inconsistencies because man has dabbled and dibbled, and we don't ever want to be like, yo, you need to be this in order to be received here. So that's why church is spelt the way it is, and it's like langed out. It's like, yo, we know what's going on, but you're welcome in our tabernacle. I mean, your body is the tabernacle when you clean it up and you rock your guard head, you know.
Come get this education of Smif-N-Wessun.
It's very important, man. Put a jewel in there, man.
Gotcha.
The fools from the babies.
This next question is actually from my Brooklyn comrade, the other half who couldn't be here. He's older than me. He was like, yo, you better ask this question or you can't come back.
This is your brother. He said I had to get it right.
Yeah, he was like, man, you better get this right or, you know. But he remembers the time, I guess, the entire boot camp clique was over at Priority Records. So he wanted to ask, what benefits did you guys see at that particular time going over to Priority Records, which was a West Coast record label, I believe?
The Priority, Drew Ha and Buckshot was able to get a deal from Priority where they could basically run Duckdown. So Duckdown was the proverbial Priority East Coast. Like they could do whatever they wanted to do, sign whoever they wanted to sign. We just was first up. You know? Like if Drew and Buck was like, if they was evil, they could have been like, nah, hold up, son. We're gonna go and get real quick. They had the overhead from Priority at the time. So that's when we start learning big words like overhead, word, no advances, overhead. You talking about like stuff to keep the lights on, the business running. So now it's up to whatever acts that you sign to get it cracking. And we had that responsibility. At one point, I was the A&R. I was working artist repertoire. It was a short job, but, you know, I'm tough. we learned a lot there. We learned a lot. I mean, straight from the block to really running the block, like that's different, you know.
So I got two more questions, then we can wrap this up. And this question is going to coincide with that. So this question really got sparked by Jermaine Dupri. Salute to Jermaine Dupri, but he put out a tweet that pretty much, and I'm trying to quote him correct. So it was pretty much from him where he said he's a little lost. Can somebody explain to him what the goal of being an independent artist is today? Because all the things that people are chasing, major artists do. So that was pretty much just paraphrasing it. I wanted to get him correct. So that's the context. So this question is actually out of respect for Duckdown Records, an indie label.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's only right to ask you guys, because you guys have been moving with the independent label this long. You guys have flourished. You guys have did great things in your journey. So I wanted to ask you guys, what is the benefit and what is the benefit of you guys being signed to Duckdown Records, and how did it help you guys flourish?
I think first of all you got to consider why you are artists. Like some people are artists to get rich. You know, they don't mind. Like I'm here to get rich. Whatever I gotta do, whatever I gotta wear, wherever I need to stand to get rich, let me do that. And in order to do that, a lot of times people sell half of this or 3/4 of that. Like Smif-N-Wessun own their stuff. That's one benefit, right? Starting there, like we always had, uh, uh, the money we given is the money we blew, right? We don't have our we don't have Drew and Buck, which is our label, digging into our money. So let us make our own mistakes. That's the benefit. Let us learn how to earn instead of having a machine that comes in and go, yo, well, go do this and do that and stand here. Then you see this artist go, yo, the label is not cooperating and they're not doing this. Like everybody has one of these stories, right? Like our version of that is like being that nervous and going, yo, we don't want to record another project. We want more money. Like that's something that could have been negotiated if we just was a little bit more patient. I think we could have did that. But everybody is gung ho. Everybody want to get to what they want. They want the finalities of what they want. And you know, I mean, we in a different space right now. So I could say a lot, but I don't want to.
I think personally, salute to Jermaine Dupri. He's a dope producer and a great mind. I actually just met him not too long ago, probably for the first time in Miami at damn, what's the name of the shade store we was at with Static. Well, we was out there, and he told me a story about how he used to live in Brooklyn and D-Sep Chase store. He was rocking low lives and shit
Salute to the low lives.
like, yeah, come on, you should have hit your boy up. But you know, I think it's like he said, it depends on the individuals. Like your failure is not my success, and your no is not my yes automatically. It shouldn't deter. I think to answer the questions you asked before this one, what was the benefit? The benefit of a major is the machine, is the backing that you have. You know, because being an independent is not, it's not an easy task. It's not an easy task. The grind does not stop. You have to be there. At times you don't want to. The same as with the major, but the major makes that sheet that you're walking on that much smoother. Whereas as an independent, you might bump your toe over there and break your foot on that right there. What you're stepping on. The major, they're gonna try to make it like they're trying to be the parent of what that you're putting out there. So they're monitoring everything you do, and they make it a little bit smoother. But even to that point, you hear "Where Are They Nows" on YouTube, or the downfall of this group that was signed to major groups or major labels, and now they're fighting for their royalties, or they're fighting for to own
It's a
their
lot of
category.
stories, yeah.
Right. So it's a double edged sword to what makes it, and I think it's all about the individual. Like, okay, when you get into the business, yes, you do want to get paid. You want to get your bank, your bags, whatever it is. But I think as an artist, when it's first starting off, the one major thing You want that. You want the reception and the accolades from your peers. You want to be dope to the who you thought was the dopest MC or who you thought was the dopest producer. You want to have your drums sharp like Dilla, or you want to have your cuts like Primo, or so. I think it comes and goes to what each is on and what it is that you're focused on and what you're trying to get out of this joint.
Yeah, we've been able to learn some things here, man. Like again, like going in all of these this conversation overlap because like
I gotta find the name of the joint.
going to Cynical is a tech head, right? She comes from 88 hip hop, so she knows a lot about the streaming world. Like we don't really dabble into that. We hardcore artists. We get down and dirty with in this booth and all. That's where our expertise is at. And then of course you're gonna need people that are experts in what they do. You know, I I shoot videos and edit, but I ain't telling people I'm an editor. You know what I mean? Like we have different responsibilities and things of that nature that we do. And it's like, all right, if I wasn't an independent artist, I might be restricted. You know, I feel like I learned a lot on this journey, as tough as it was. And I could have used a lot of help, but I got some great relationships and I don't have to go through no red tape to go on no show, no tours. Nobody is telling me I can't stand next to nobody. And I kind of like that freedom. You know, and it's like I think about what would I have had to sacrifice if I would have had to do what the Locks did when they Puffy had their stuff. You know what I mean? And then you want to say, I'm gonna throw a refrigerator on something. Like we had our own frustrations. Everybody had their own journey. They had to walk through their own love, hella right. They had to deal with their own 40 days and 40 nights. And it's like I would never say I wish I was a major artist, like because I sit with major artists, like if that's what major artists are, like I don't even know how to differentiate that. No disrespect, but it's like we sit with these guys. You know what I mean? Like we got songs with Mary J. Blige. I would say she's a major artist, right? So independent artists. Like we all creators. We all have the ability to reach out and touch someone. So how we put it together just makes it that much more amazing and magnificent because we break boundaries. All of that, we would never need a major. A major would need us. We are the intellectual property.
You are the brand,
now
right?
We get to have different conversations. Like we don't need that. And if we have the money, and if you street guys, hustlers guys, if you apply a little bit of that hustler's nature and that spirit, and you could probably lock down some things. You could pull a Master P off. Master P was also our label mate on Priority at the time. He came with he had his machine already. He came with them. He had the tanks already. Then they put the stamp on it and allow him to add on.
It was moving different in the South.
Now, and that's a fact. Now, and I'm gonna give you a fun fact. We already had our vans wrapped at the first How Could I Be Down. Nobody out there, Master P ain't have his van wrapped yet.
We had little remote control trucks that was looking like the authentic van.
We had the little ones.
Wow.
Big, right? And we had a big one that we was riding down there and looked like the 18 van back in the day. Master P ain't had that yet. Next year, he had the whole bus wrapped.
He said, nah, I got to catch up.
So it's like hip hop teaches some things, man. It's like, yo, we still, if that's what independent and major is, because we got the same type of situation, is how you apply it. Right. You know what I mean? It's like knowing what we know now, I would prefer to be where I'm at right now and have freedom of my intellectual property and to be able to do certain things with it. And you always can make deals with people to get money together, as opposed to someone saying, "Yo, you don't know anything. You're young. Sign this contract. I'm gonna go put you in these places to help you make bread."
Got no publishing. Yeah,
0% of nothing.
Right. So that goes those answers can go to like 5 of those questions.
And I was trying to remember my peoples over at the Vintage Frame Company. If you're in Miami, check them out. They got the eyewear that's immaculate. So that's where I met Jermaine Dupri, and we chopped it up. And I think he's a great mind also, man. And You know, again, it just goes, I think, to each his own, what it is you're looking for.
Salute. So this last question, I got a title for it. It's called Brooklyn Keeps on Taking It. So you guys might not remember, but I actually was behind the scenes doing a little media back in 2012, and I attended a video shoot called Brooklyn Keeps on Taking It, a song by Sonya Blade featuring Smif-N-Wessun.
We saw that. Yeah.
I got a drop from Tech. I probably overlaid a clip. It was the essence. It was the essence of Brooklyn out there. I believe Taya Simmons directed it.
In my hood,
yeah. So I want to say rest in peace to Bristol, because Bristol was out there and he's no longer here.
Golden Child, Briss.
Boot Camp Click. You guys were in front of the Biggie mural at that pizza place. It was just an iconic thing for Brooklyn. That's why I titled this Brooklyn Keeps on Taking It, because it feels like a full circle moment. Yeah. So the final question to this is, for both of you, how does it feel to grow up, learn your lessons in Bucktown, USA? And what do you take the most important lesson from Bucktown, USA?
I think I will have to answer that in reverse. The most important lesson hasn't been learned yet, because you're still here, you're still living, you're still breathing, and you're still on this journey of trying to find yourself and your family and what it is. And I think the other part is just keep your circle tight, man. Keep your team tight. Try to know yourself and who you got around you, because that makes a major difference and is a major contribution to what it is that you're trying to do in hip hop and movies and writing and podcasts and whatever it is. Just be careful of the company you keep, because my mom used to always say, man, trouble is easy to get into, but it's hell and hot water to get out of.
Facts.
And there's people whose energy is just to get you in trouble, to trick you out of your space. A lot of people is out there. As wicked as it is, though. Wicked to us.
He just described the plot for the blaxploitation movie Bucktown. When we came with the name Bucktown, we had no idea that it was a movie with Fred Williamson called Bucktown. So it's like we thought we was tapping into something like some wild esoterical knowledge. We're like, wow, son, word, that's crazy. And then to have this movie, kind of basically, you just described the plot of the movie. You know, he went to the town for something different, and you know he was going to leave, but you know he wound up staying there to protect the town and to protect the people. Called his homies to help him with it. They started seeing the game a little bit different. Right. They started taking advantage of the people. It sounded like hip hop. It sounded like independent and majors. It sounded like now you got to go against your friends and do woo woo. So it's like the important lessons is indeed the story is still being written, and that's the important lesson at this particular time, which is that you've lasted and survived this long. Your importance is important, and do something. You know what I mean? Let's get it on.
Get out,
you know
and get something.
Rec time. Like all of these things. Woo, let it go.
Keep
like
it moving. Wow.
we using this as a vessel to get to a destination or a few destinations. In the name in the vein of Harriet Tubman, we picking up the individuals, living bodies and spirits for this journey. So come with something, man. Come bring your you-ness, you know, bring your unique self. And add on to the pot. This is what we showing and proving when you listen to Infinity, and that's where Bucktown started us. And when you listen to Medina, Medina is the world. You know, then you'll know the mentality. It would say Bucktown is the state of mind that I'm trapped in. Medina is the world. So it's the same foundation.
Man, I appreciate the hip hop convo while I'm trying to curate underground hip hop, and I appreciate the dope art, man. And like I said when I did the album review, and I'm saying now to everybody out there who may see this, please pick up this real music, because they definitely ain't just rapping; they spreading a message, man.
Thanks. Nice. I think you know I want to. If nobody ever told you, man, I think you're gonna blow up. Like you already, your whole vibe, how you break it down, and you talking about hip hop in such a purest form. Like people need to hear about hip hop in the pure form, not this judge one sided story. Like we enjoy it for a reason, you know, not only because it makes people wealthy, it's something else that's there, and we need to talk about it. So I appreciate you for even addressing it in this from this perspective. Man. Salute to you, and keep on doing it how you're doing it, fam. Salute to you and all the crew back there too.
Appreciate you guys. And before we leave off, I think I saw something on Instagram, just so you guys could shout out and remind people. I believe this Friday you guys are having a celebration for Sean Price. Is that public or is that private?
It's that. Yeah, that is.
It's public, but we not gonna be here.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I didn't know.
Price, get it out there. Go. We got to tend to other business away. We wish we could be there, but for all y'all that's there, we will be there in spirit. That is the 19th. Is it the 19th?
What we got?
No, the Sean Price show.
I don't know.
I believe I saw it was this Friday.
Yeah, I think it is this Friday, but that's we break out this Friday.
Right now. Oh, here it is right here. Yeah, this Friday, March 14th.
Yeah.
March 14th. Where's that at? Yummy's Restaurant. Yummy's Restaurant, 706 Nostrand, March 14th. Mm-hmm. Pull up, celebrate the life and history and legacy of Sean Price with the family. Word up.
General Steele, Tech, I appreciate you guys. May you guys continue to stay blessed, and I hope you guys get everything that you guys deserve in this culture, man.
Likewise, also, if you're gonna be in New York City around Rockefeller Center on March 19th, we're doing a pop-up and called Rough Trade Music Store. So if you're gonna be around in town, pull up and see your brothers.
Yeah, and we also gonna be on that Rock the Bells cruise.
Yeah.
So catch us on a few things. We got work to do, man. It's a new video. By the time you see this, you might see the new video Medina too. So
all right.
The homie Pharaoh Munch. A lot more things to come, man. But thank you for having this bill with us, brother. And
appreciate you guys.
Keep elevating.